Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today I'm talking about two-factor authentication, specifically from Twitter. Now, you've probably heard a cybersecurity professional or somebody technical in your life say that you need to have two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication set up in your personal life. This helps against hijacking accounts. So in other words, when you log in, you have to have your username and password, but then a second factor of authentication. Now, there's a couple of different ways to set this up. Typically, this could be an email. So in other words, you log in and then your account gets emailed the link or a code. This could be a text message. You get texted a code, or it could be an authenticator app, which basically gives you a code every 30 seconds as it's linked to the account. And there are others as well, such as a hardware token, like a USB stick, that kind of thing. But primarily, a lot of people are using text messages, and typically cybersecurity professionals don't recommend using text messages. We recommend using authenticator apps, and here's exactly why. Twitter, and this is according to TechCrunch that just released this article last night, basically said that it had been using phone numbers and email addresses provided by users that set up two-factor authentication to serve targeted ads to. Now, the issue stems from the company's tailored audiences program, which allows companies to target advertisements against their own marketing lists, such as phone numbers and email addresses. But Twitter found that when advertisers uploaded their marketing lists, it matched Twitter users to the phone numbers and email addresses they were set up, or they submitted to set up two-factor authentication to. So in other words, you are doing this to add security and more privacy to your life, and they are taking that information and going ahead and turning it around and selling it to marketers. Now, Twitter addressed this issue on September 17th. And the reason why this probably came to head for Twitter is that they're in the same boat as Facebook, who basically did the same thing last year. They were caught giving users phone number and email addresses, for setting up multi-factor authentication for targeted advertising. The Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, came down on them for that and fined them $5 billion earlier this year and prohibited them from using the phone numbers it obtained for setting up 2FA for advertising. And I think that it underscores why we need to be using authenticator apps or hardware tokens. Don't use email addresses. Don't use text messages. I think it is one of those things that a lot of people don't realize, and it's simply this. We enter into a trust relationship with any website that we go to. We enter into a trust relationship with anywhere we basically go. If I walk into my local store, for example, I trust that it's going to be, let's say, relatively safe, relatively secure, that they're not going to get my credit card stolen when I buy something. Same online. If I am signing up for Twitter or Facebook or anything else, I am basically trusting them with the storage of my data. I also understand that if it's free, I'm probably the product and I'm getting data mined. But when we are talking about enabling things for security, that becomes a much more significant issue in the sense that we are exposing stuff to this organization for security purposes in a way that we wouldn't expose it to the rest of the world. And they are turning around and selling that information. An authenticator app can't really target an ad to, and so by virtue of that, I think it's significantly better. Then again, somebody will probably find a way to target ads to an authenticator app at some point, in which case I wouldn't use that authenticator app. But that is your news of the day. I think this is absolutely, unconscionable, especially coming from a security standpoint. And it also, I think, is unconscionable because people are going to read this and think, oh my God, I am not going to enable 2FA because I don't want them to have my phone number to basically send me advertising through text messages, or my email address to send me even more spam. And that is a very serious problem. This turns people off to security in a way that it shouldn't. And so take that for what it's worth. But Twitter, I'm glad you fixed it. You shouldn't have done it in the first place. So that kind of sucks. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And yes, I'm aware. I just listed the two that are in trouble here. And please subscribe to me on YouTube as well, which also has 2FA, and I'm sure hopefully isn't doing the same thing. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.